Hello, welcome to our presentation on early entrance to kindergarten for the 2022-23 school year. My name is Christy McDougall and I oversee Kyrene's early entrance to kindergarten program as the Executive Director of the Teaching and Learning Department. We are excited that you are considering Kyrene for your kindergarten student. In this presentation, we will review the Arizona law about early entrance to kindergarten. We will talk about kindergarten expectations and how you can determine if you think your child would be ready. We will also talk about the steps in Kyrene's process and Kyrene's early childhood program options. The law in Arizona states, a child is eligible for admission to kindergarten if the child is 5 years of age. A child is deemed 5 years of age if the child reaches the age of 5 before September 1st of the current school year. This part of the statute defines regular kindergarten enrollment. The law then goes on to say, the governing board may admit children who have not reached the required age as prescribed by this subsection if it is determined to be in the best interest of the children. Such children must reach the required age of 5 for kindergarten by January 1 of the current school year. This is the clause that defines the parameters for early entrance to kindergarten. We must follow state law. If your child was born on January 1st, 2018 or after, they cannot be admitted under early entrance to kindergarten. To be clear, students will only be considered for early entrance to kindergarten if they turn 5 between September 1st, 2022 and December 31st, 2022. In Kyrene, we take the early entrance to kindergarten process seriously. We utilize the developmental screening process because we want all of our early entrance students to be successful and be ready for the rigor and challenges in today's kindergarten classroom. Kindergarten may not be the same as when you attended kindergarten. It even looks different than it did 10 years ago. Arizona has adopted the Arizona Academic Standards for English Language Arts and Mathematics, and most recently, Science and Social Studies. These new standards have increased the rigor in all grade levels. There are also defined standards for early learning for preschool children, ages 3 through 5. An example of this is in reading. At one point, students entering first grade were expected to know letter names and sounds. Now students are expected to be able to blend sounds to read words, to read sight words, and to comprehend and write about what they have read. There has also been the addition of Move On When Reading legislation that requires third grade students to be reading at a certain level to be promoted to the 4th grade. We do not retain very often, and when we do, several factors are considered. For this reason, students that enter kindergarten early should not be considered for retention. Early entrance to kindergarten is a decision that will affect your child in many ways you should consider. Depending on your child's age, they may be as many as 16 months younger than another child in their class. This might be most impactful in puberty with physical development, in high school when students are getting their learner's permits and driving, and at the age at which students would enter college and possibly move away from home. In the next few slides, you will see students working together in close proximity. These pictures are illustrative of activities in kindergarten classrooms and were taken prior to the pandemic. This slide shows students working on language and literacy activities. On the left, students are drawing pictures and writing about a story. The other picture shows students sitting in a small group reading picture books with simple words and sentences. This slide shows students working on mathematics activities. Students on the left are sorting objects, and students on the right are making a pattern. You will notice that students are independent and interacting to solve problems and follow multi-step directions. This slide shows some additional activities that are typical in kindergarten. Students may spend time as a whole class on the carpet for instruction. Students may also work in small groups or independently on an activity. Students in kindergarten need skills to get along with others, independently follow directions, and transition between activities and locations multiple times per day. This slide shows some additional kindergarten activities. Students need to have physical development to be able to write and use scissors, or to skip and run. Students will be eating lunch at school, which involves carrying their tray to a table, opening milk or other containers with minimal support, and cleaning up their eating area. Students will also need to be able to care for themselves by independently using the restroom and blowing their nose. Teachers are not allowed to enter the restroom to wipe or to help. If your child is not completely potty trained, they are not ready for kindergarten. Early entrance to kindergarten screenings are conducted in English. If your child has a primary language other than English and you have provided us with that information on the interest form, we can provide an interpreter for your child's screening if needed. Children will need to have sufficient language skills to be able to function during the screening. There are several steps in the early entrance to kindergarten process. First, you submit an interest form. This is an online form that is linked from the Kyrene Early Entrance Kindergarten page. You will receive an email with confirmation of your form and responses. Second, you will watch the family meeting presentation. The link to the video is provided on the Kyrene's Early Entrance webpage. Once you have watched the video, you will complete a family meeting attendance form. You can access this form also on the Kyrene webpage. When the interest form and family meeting attendance form are complete, you will receive an email with an early entrance application. Please complete the application and bring it with you to your child's screening. Next, you will receive an email to schedule a screening through a sign-up genius. It is best to wait until your child is at least 4 years, 6 months old for the screening because we use a nationally normed developmental assessment. On the day of the screening, you will check in and turn in your signed application. Please ask your child to go to the restroom before they go into the screening. Screenings are conducted one-on-one with a teacher, and we will follow current mitigation procedures as applicable. The teacher will greet your child in the waiting area and bring your child back to the same location after the screening. You will need to remain in the waiting area during the screening. Please do not judge how well your child does by how long it takes. There are many factors that go into the length of the screening. Please arrive on time for your screening. If you are more than 10 minutes late, we will have to reschedule your screening. Please access the Sign-Up Genius to reschedule if something comes up. Please remember to keep the day relaxed for your child. They will do better if they are having fun. A district staff member will contact you by email or phone within 1 week of the screening with results. Please do not call us unless it has been 1 week since your screening, as this will slow down the notification process. Let's review some details about the early entrance application. The first page describes the policy and the process for early entrance. On the second page, there's a description of the 45-day provisional acceptance for all early entrance to kindergarten students. We can ask you to withdraw your child. Usually, this is a mutual decision between you, the teacher, and the principal. An example of when this might be in the best interest of the child is if in the first week of kindergarten, the child cries every day. This is very typical, and our kindergarten teachers are great at making students comfortable very quickly. In week 2, the child continues to cry daily. This is not typical. The teacher will call you to work together to make the child comfortable. Week 3, the child continues to cry but is now sobbing and having trouble breathing and requesting to go to the nurse's office because they have a tummy ache. By now we have tried a lot of strategies to make it work, and the child is showing us they are just not ready. Usually, if a child is withdrawn from kindergarten, it is a social or emotional reason, and the teacher and parents have had conversations along the way. On page 3 and 4, you can write about your child's development. We request that families complete this part of the application, rather than asking a preschool teacher to fill it out. The bottom of page 4 requests preschool information if applicable. We rarely contact the preschool, but may use this information if we see a discrepancy between the screening and the information that the family provided. Sometimes completing the requirement for the family meeting can be confusing. After you have watched the presentation, you will access the family meeting attendance form on the website. Please complete the questions on the form and enter the code EEK 2022 to verify your attendance. After the interest form and meeting attendance form are both complete, you will receive an email with an application and directions to sign up for a screening. Typically, about half the students we screen qualify for kindergarten. About half of our families wait another year to start kindergarten. If your child qualifies for kindergarten, you will need to enroll with the school where your child will be attending. To enroll, you will need your child's original certified birth certificate, your child's immunization records, and proof of residency such as a utility bill or lease agreement. If you have questions about enrollment or registration, you are able to contact the Kyrene District Office at 480-541-1000 or visit the Kyrene enrollment page. If your child is not ready for kindergarten, we do have some fabulous opportunities for preschool in Kyrene. We have 2 programs, Community Preschool and Integrated Preschool. More information on these programs and contact information are available on the Kyrene website. If for some reason you take your child to a private charter or other public school for kindergarten and wish to return to Kyrene in 1st grade, early entrance to 1st grade will apply. We screen children that did not attend a Kyrene kindergarten program who are not 6 before September 1st of their 1st grade year. Early entrance requirements apply to students entering kindergarten and 1st grade. There are no early entrance requirements for 2nd grade. Thank you for your interest in the Kyrene Early Entrance to Kindergarten program. If you have questions, let us help. Information is available on the Early Entrance to Kindergarten website. You can also reach us by email or phone.